Martin Luther King, John the Baptist, Jesus Christ. Names we are all familiar with. Names of people who made this a better world. And what happened to them? They were all killed. These men, and many others like them, down through the centuries, have been willing to stand up for what is right. Have been willing to speak out against injustices. In the recent film that's presently showing Salem, it tells about Martin Luther King and all he did for his black brothers and sisters, and all he sacrificed so that they could have the rights that were afforded them in the Constitution of this country. That they could vote, that they could be free people, and not punished, not turned aside. And because he worked this way, he was a light for his brothers and sisters. We can see this in so many different people. When they were willing to step out of the ordinary things of daily life and make a change, make something happen. I'm sure it wasn't easy, not even for Jesus, day after day, dealing with this. And then it comes down where each of us have to look at ourselves and ask ourselves, what's happening? Now remember what we heard in today's gospel. Jesus came along, he said, hey, come on, follow me. I'll make you fishers of men. Now these apostles, or future apostles, didn't stop and ask him, hey, what about Social Security? What about time off? What's my pension? What about getting paid overtime? They didn't ask those things. Because the Spirit moved them to let go of their nets and to dash off and follow Jesus Christ. They had no idea what lay ahead of them. They didn't even know what was going to happen the next day. But they were willing to do it. And day after day after day they grew. They became better people. They saw their faults, they saw their failings, but they continued to move on. They dropped their nets. Stop and think about that for a moment. What about the nets you and I carry around in our daily lives? Our selfishness, our prejudice, our hatred, and so many other things. We have this huge net we carry around with us day after day, instead of letting it go. How about some of us who may still consider the good old days, back in the 50s or the 60s or 70s or 80s? Oh, they were the great times. Well, they may have been. I lived through them. And many of you have. But they're gone. That's over with. That's finished with. And we will not find Christ in those days. He's not there. Christ isn't back in the 50s or 60s or 70s or 80s or even the 2000s. Christ is here. Today. Not yesterday. Today. Among us as we sit here this evening. He's with every single one of us. He said, where two or three are gathered in my name, I will be there. And he is here. And he's in every one of you. Every one of you. But how do we recognize him? We recognize him when we use that word that we hate to hear. The word is called change. Making a change in each of our lives. Maybe not just one change, but a lot of them. That's what I mean by letting go of the net. Letting go of all that stuff that so many of us carry around day after day. And what does it do? It drags us down. Instead of freeing us, it drags us down. You want to be free? You want to be joyful? You want to be happy? Get rid of your nets. Make the change. Something for the better. Be willing to help your neighbor out, no matter who that may be. The person on the corner, the person around the block, in the neighborhood, wherever it may be. We're called, like the apostles, we are being called day after day after day. Because Jesus is saying to you and to me, come follow me, and I will make you fishers of men and women. Isn't that what we're about? We call ourselves Christians. Isn't that what we should be doing? But so many of us get stuck back here someplace because we've got to hold the line. This is our confidence. This is our safety zone. Let it go. Let it go. That's when you experience freedom. That's when you experience happiness. My sisters and brothers, I've been in religious life 56 years as of tomorrow. And I look back, and I have made a heck of a lot of changes in my life. And I still have to make changes. Things still crop up from the past. I have to override them. I have to change. And so do you. Because that's the only way in which you and I can enjoy the presence of Christ in our lives. And it's when we do that that we experience a tremendous love coming into our lives. There's some people who are always trying to discover who they are. You know, you might look in the mirror and look at that person you see looking at you. And look at that person's gifts. Look at that person's talents. And you should be proud of that person. You have nothing to hang your heads in shame about. Because you're God. And now Jesus is calling you and me day after day. Christ is present now. Not yesterday, but at this very moment. Listen to him. Become his disciple. And only then will you be free. It's a risk. I know. I'm not taking any risk, people say. This one or that. Because if you want to go to the kingdom and be part of that eternal life, sitting at the table with the Lord, we better change. Change for the better. But the question you and I have to ask ourselves, not just today, but tomorrow morning when we get up, am I willing to risk for Jesus Christ?